Brought your motherfuckers out to the street today. Ha! You guys ever wonder what the best dreadlocks look like? Well, let me give you a little hint. They're typically free. First things first, what team are you on when you go to bed with your locks? Team Bonnet, Team Lock Sock, Team Wild and Free, or Team Scarf? Let me know in the comment section down below. How do you wear your hair when you go to bed? Personally, I'm on Team Lock Sock and Team Wild and Free. The thing is, it's definitely easier just to go to bed wild and free, although it does tangle around our necks and it can pick up more lint. Believe it or not, dreadlocks have been around since ancient Egypt. Ancient Mesopotamia also has evidence of this. Looking at their hieroglyphs, they put everything of importance on the walls back then. So when we see figures of people with locked hair, we know that this is the way that they were rocking their hairstyles in the ancient societies. Now, they might not have called them dreadlocks back then, but you can see that they definitely took the same shape and form, often resembling Congos, in this hieroglyph at least anyways, because I've seen other hieroglyphs where the pharaohs are resembling dreadlocks but of a much neater appearance. And just for those that didn't know, ancient Mesopotamia was a civilization as the world's oldest recorded. It's a place situated in the middle of Euphrates and the Tigris River, which is now a part of Iraq. The civilization is majorly known for its prosperity, city life, and its rich, voluminous literature, mathematics, and astronomy. Oh, and of course, the best dreadlocks ever. Taken to which, I want to give you guys a few more best dreads I've found on the internet this week. It kills me that I can't remember the names of these ladies because I've definitely done a dreadlock review on them in the past. I love the cannabis shirt the lady is wearing in the middle. But their locks looking the best ever. Why? Because of the length. These are some truly natty freeforms with some dreadication. Not giving up on these at all. And I love the way that the lady in the middle is wearing her dreadlock knitted tam or crocheted tam, just embracing all of her locks. And we can see that these ladies have been wearing their locks for at least 10 years at this point, for the most part. Collectively, they might be at 30 years altogether. Now, you know, I'm definitely biased because I think the best dreadlocks ever are always freeform, especially when they're on ladies, because it's just that much more rare of an occasion. These dreadlocks just getting out of the awkward stage, but I call that the beautiful stage from now on. But what I love about these locks are the thickness of them. They are coming in at a much thicker diameter than a lot of freeforms that we see, and she's rocking them great. My guess is that she's probably got 30 to 40 locks on her head, and I can see that she's pulling her hair back just a tiny bit with a hairband at the front. The amount of dedication it takes to grow locks like this is truly impeccable. I can actually notice a difference in the shades of her tones from the root down to the tips. The root being a bit more brown, the tips are looking a bit darker. And for whatever reason, her tips are really blunted. Not sure if they've been trimmed or not, but they're looking rather great. Now, these locks remind me of Montague, they remind me of Freeform Prophet, they remind me of David Hines. They remind me of a big ass plica polonica for our one big dread growing out of somebody's head. But the fact that these stand up on ends is mesmerizing. And again, we can see the color fade transition from the roots down to the tips, although these locks are in the opposite color tone than the last lady we were looking at. What does it take to get locks like this, you might ask? Patience. More patience than a doctor's office. Growing a Congo lock like this takes a lot of confidence. Your level of self-acceptance has to be extraordinary, which is all part of the journey, learning to love oneself the way God has intended us to look naturally, aka natty.
So cold.
interrupted this for a gas break. Drop a gas emoji down below if you are enjoying this video. Just trying to stop at 10 bucks. When I first saw this photo, I was kind of deterred to think if these were freeforms or not. They kind of look like they've been manicured, but there's no signs of any of that. There's no scarring from retwisting or interlocking. And I thought to myself, how can this lady have such perfect freeform locks that are thin and cylindrical? But then I just decided to put them in the video anyways because they still do look like some of the best dreads ever. Okay, so she's got some bleach in there. We know that's damaging. I love the little seashell that she's put there as decoration. Less is always more. And I'm really impressed by the way that she's wrapped her hair on top of her head like that. It looks very elegant. These are the type of freeform locks that are like, she's got those blunted tips, and I can definitely tell she's got a lot of locks. Buddy, calm down. These Congos looking fire. Can't stop them. I love the way that the ends have become finger dreads. Congos, splits, making him look really happy. And that's the power of what freeform locks can do, because when you have the best dreads ever, they bring self-acceptance and love to an all-time high. Now, we could have had some bleach dipped on the ends of his tips here, but in all honesty, it might be a natural fade that's happening here because it looks like he's in a pretty sunny state. That new growth is on fleek as well, not being manipulated at all. So if you ever want to experience a true freeform movement, stop separating your locks and let them do what they want to do naturally. And by the way, notice how his locks look like the trees in the background. Nature. Damn, she's beautiful. Curly freeform locks, looking so amazing. A very unique and individual approach to wearing the freeform locks, giving her the title of the best dreads ever in this photo. I must say, we can see the color fade happening from the roots down to the tip. We can also see how some of her locks have turned into flats. Really impressed at how clean she's kept the frontal lobe. There's seriously no signs of any dandruff or buildup over here. So really, what do you want me to say about these locks? They're beautiful. And if I could encourage any lady to go freeform, this is the photo I would show them. Just go for it. Embrace your natural self 100%. How long have you been growing your freeform locks? I want to know in the comment section down below. This shit is my favorite right here. A couple that locks together, rocks together. Now this might be just a painting or a portrait, but obviously it's made after the real life resemblance of two people. And what I love to see here is the unity. We got man and woman rocking freeform locks in unity. Looking like she's got the longer set of locks in this relationship. Big ass flats as well. Meanwhile, Mandem's rocking the Jamaican Rasta tam. And notice how none of them have their locks tied up, tied back in a top bun. Just letting them rock naturally, flowing freely. A funny thing is, personally, the longest relationship I've ever had in my life has been with my hair. So hopefully these two are holding down a stronger relationship than their hair. Yeah. And lastly here we got Shad. If you haven't seen Shad on Instagram yet, his freeform locks are immensible. And I think he actually made a couple other edits on this series of the best dreads ever because his whole family has the freeform locks. So don't be surprised if we see his appearance pop up every once in a while along these series. But this photo here specifically shows where he started from and more so where he is now. But we can see that the afro locks with the headphones on top does not affect the way that your locks grow over time. I too did the same thing in the beginning years of my freeform journey, and the headphones actually helped lock my hair up more than anything. The one thing I noticed is that he did taper the sides down quite a bit just to kind of keep it a bit neater in appearance, but his locks still looking really fire.